Okay, hello Christian. Okay, I'm going to show off my credentials pile here for the healthcare work that I did. Okay, this is my first certification as a medical laboratory technician, and I got that in 2004. And every 3 years, the American Society of Clinical Pathology, they require us to maintain our certification through continuing education. So this first one was good through 2007, and during that 3-year period I worked on my continuing ed, and I also worked in laboratories. So I submitted my stuff, and I was recertified through 2010, and then I submitted and I was recertified through 2013. But I think in 2012 I took a medical technologist certification exam. Yeah, this says on July 5th of 2012. But this is through a lesser certification agency, this American Medical Technologists. They're not as, so if you can't pass these guys' tests, which is American Society for Clinical Pathology, like let's say you go to school for lab work and you don't learn enough in the process, this place is set up to kind of be a backup. Well, let's see, how did that go? I did a 2-year training to get this certification as medical laboratory technician. And then I went and finished my 4-year college degree. And after completing that degree, I had met the requirements to sit for the 4-year college grad certification exam through this company, but not yet through the American Society for Clinical Pathology. So I took this test and got this certification, and then a year later I qualified to sit for the exam for medical laboratory scientist. And so I took that test, I passed, and that's when okay. I had completed my continuing ed as an MLT, which is the 2-year laboratory technician. And I'd submitted and recertified through 2016. But then also in the summer of 2013, I sat for the exam for medical laboratory scientist and passed. So at that point, I finally got the 4-year medical laboratory technician certification as medical lab scientist. And then I just noticed that I don't have my latest recertification paperwork with me. I see that this one expired last summer, although I have already gone through the process of submitting and re-upping my certification. So now my next 3-year period is effective, and I'm certified from July 2019 through July 22. But I don't know. I guess I never received my my paperwork, or I'm not quite sure. I'll have to check with that. But anyways, yeah, and that's my story on the whole. Hi, that's my story on the whole medical laboratory work. It's very disappointing because you go through really as much training as nursing does, but your work is done behind the scenes, and therefore people forget that you're back there actually, providing this testing that then the doctors can make their healthcare decisions on. And this has been going on probably since laboratories were first ever invented. And so you wind up running into nurses that think that they know everything, and they don't really understand what's going on back in the laboratory, and you continually have to remind them that we don't make numbers up, and that the numbers that they need for patient care come from a laboratory that is run. Those numbers come from analyzers that are well maintained. They're calibrated and they're quality controlled to make sure that the results that they are producing accurately reflect the state of health that their patient is in at the time of sample collection. So, and you just, that is always, so your numbers have to be right. The information that you come up with, your test results have to be reliable, but everybody forgets what it takes to make sure that the process of analysis can actually provide you with information that is correct. And I think actually that's how my last job ended in laboratory work, was in an argument with a nurse that was on my case about something ridiculous, and I just said, yeah, no, you're wrong about that. And anyways, long story short, I wound up losing my job over that situation, and that's how I got out of healthcare. Although I do maintain my certification in case I need to go back, and hopefully that's not the case, but if I need to, as long as I can at least find my paperwork and get my updated one, then I still qualify. So there's my little lab tech story for you. All right, take care, man.